All right, everyone, welcome to today's episode of Shannon Reads 1099 Instructions. Today we are going to talk about what a payment card transaction is. And so I'm going to read the FAQs on the IRS website for the payment card transactions. All right, I'll put a link in the comments or in the description below so that you guys can access this page on the IRS's website. What is a merchant acquiring entity? Often called an acquiring or merchant bank, a merchant acquiring entity is the bank or other organization that has the contractual obligation to make payments to a merchant or other business known as a participating payee in settlement of payment card transactions. Under Treasury Regulation Section 1.6050W-1, a merchant acquiring entity makes payments in a settlement of a payment card transaction if it submits the instructions to transfer funds to the participating payee's account. What qualifies as a payment card? The term payment card includes credit cards, debit cards, stored value cards, as well as payment through any distinctive marks of a payment card, such as a credit card number. A payment card is issued under an agreement that provides standards and mechanisms for settling the transactions between a merchant acquiring bank or similar entity and the providers who accept the cards as payment. Who is responsible for reporting payment card transactions? The merchant acquiring entity that submits the instructions to transfer funds to the participating payee is responsible for reporting the gross amount of the reportable transaction. The merchant acquiring entity might outsource the processing of the transactions to a processor that may share in the contractual obligation to pay the merchant. When both the merchant acquiring entity and the processor have contractual obligations to pay the merchant, the entity that submits the instructions to transfer funds to the merchant account is responsible for preparing and furnishing a payee statement to the participating payee and filing the Form 1099-K with the IRS. Who reports payment card transactions when a payment settlement entity contracts with a third party, such as an electronic payment facilitator, to settle reportable transactions? The entity submitting instructions to transfer funds to the participating merchant account is responsible for reporting payment card transactions. In this case, the third-party entity is responsible for reporting because it is the entity submitting the instructions to transfer the funds to the settlement of the transactions. What is a merchant category code? MCC is a 4-digit number used by the payment card industry to classify businesses by the goods or services they provide. There are approximately 600 MCCs representing different types of businesses. Some examples are 411 cruise lines, 5462 bakeries, and 5532 automotive tire stores. How should transactions be reported if a merchant has receipts classified under more than one MCC? If a merchant has receipts classified under more than one MCC, the reporting entity may either file separate Form 1099-K reporting the gross reportable transaction amount attributed to each MCC, or file a single 1099-K reporting gross reportable transactions amounts and the MCC that corresponds with the largest portion of gross receipts. Additionally, if a reporting entity or processor employs an industry classification system other than or in addition to MCCs, the reporting entity should assign to each payee an MCC that most closely corresponds to the description of the payee's business. So This is a lot of information, but it basically says that anything that can be a payment card, which is a credit card, a debit card, or stored value cards, or anything that looks like a credit card or a debit card because it has a credit card number, is a payment card and thus will be reported on a 1099-K. So it's very important to understand what gets reported on a 1099-K so that we can make sure that we exclude that from our 1099 NEC and 1099